Hey everybody, Tammy Taylor here, and I am participating in the Allie Edwards Day in the Life. The community is documenting their day in the life on April 2nd, so I will also be doing that. I have been working on this video for a few days, but it'll probably go up actually the day that everybody's documenting. Um, what I have on screen is the 2026 Day in the Life kit. It came in the story play bundle. There's like three different kits. I actually have a couple day in the life that I haven't used. So I am trying to use my stuff and I will be probably doing this a couple times this year. So for the first one, this is the 2026 kit. I really want to get the most out of the kits that I'm purchasing. One of the ways that I do that historically is that I will sometimes play with images of the kit in Photoshop and kind of like lay out what my idea and game plan is. Then I will pre-plan the pages. So I will get the kit out and put, prep the pages. And then when I document the day in the life and actually finish the pages, what that does is it kind of lets me play with something that I purchased three times instead of like using a piece of paper once and being done. It just kind of gives me that creative liberty to really, you know, spend some time with the paper and yeah, see what I could do, stretch it. So for this game plan, it just goes from top left to bottom right. So there's like a note for me to use the Posca markers because I want to, maybe doodle in the middle of those flowers and see what that looks like. I took this off the Allie Edwards blog because I like the way that they put the wonky circles in the middle of the flowers. The today grids are just amazing. But I really like the way that they did that. And I want to, put a circle there. And then on that particular one, there's a stamp that's like wonky circles that Allie wrote a few years back. And I don't really get the opportunity to use them a whole lot. And there's one that says day in the life. So I thought, oh, that's perfect. Need to bust that stamp out and use it. Then when you go to the middle row, you can see the journaling prompt card that has like the 1 through 10, and then it also has some space at the bottom. So I grabbed a couple cards. I think those are from the fun or the highs and lows. I'm not sure. But the wonky circles are from the day in the life that one says like the best part of the day and the worst part of the day. And then the cards have like who, what, where, and when on it. And I just thought that was kind of cool to, use that as journaling and then have like the highs and lows. Maybe it's from highs and lows. I'm not sure. Anyways, and so then after those pages, when you get to the one that has like the bright red with white lettering one day at a time, that is going to be the first of the pocket pages. And so that is the front side of the pocket. And then when you open it up, it's the next two that has like the times on it. And I just really, really liked on the blog where those are like all in a row and not spaced out. And it's just like I think it's going to be really cool to just take a picture. I don't want to do the journaling at all on this. I want these just to be photos every 2 hours throughout the day of like what I'm looking at. It doesn't have to be a person. Well, it could be a person, but it's just like, yeah, I just want to take a picture of whatever I'm looking at throughout the day. And then when you flip over the back, that's the bottom left corner where I've got like day details like weather, when the sun rose, set, how many miles I drove, what I did, where I went, um, and then just notes. And then I have the photo set. So I'll take one of the cameras out of there and put it in there for some like space filler or whatever. But this is the game plan. So now I'm going to cut to when I actually prepped the pages. And you can see how the game plan was just a plan. So here we go. All right. So I had a plan and then I start playing with the paper and things change. First one is the pockets. That was like the thing I really loved the way that it looked and I put them in because it was the easiest. I will be honest, I'm already like planning on changing it. Not to change it around. I just like the way that I just set it up, the AM is on the left and PM's on the right, and I'd rather have AM across the top and PM across the bottom. So it's like a complete left to right. So the two pages are a little more cohesive. So then I just start playing around with the different papers that came in the kit, trying to take a look at, where it fits in. And I'll be honest, right now I'm starting to question Do I really need this many pages to document one day of my life? I work a lot and I can't really journal about work too much. There's just NDAs and stuff like that. So I yeah, I'm not sure that I need this many pages. So I start looking at like how to cut things down. Really love this transparency, but at this point I'm just like I don't need a whole transparency to start this day in the life. So I decided against it. So I cut it so that I could put it in the pockets just because I really love the color scheme with everything else that it goes with and decided that I'm gonna yeah, just cut paper. That's why we have it to cut it up. And the other thing that I start to have a problem with in a few minutes is the prompt paper that has the 1 through 10 because again, I start thinking I don't really have 10 details. Um, so this is where I just started thinking, okay, the first page is actually going to be this today. And so I wanted to make sure that the one wonky circle that says like day in the life and that would be on this paper so that everybody can see that that's kind of what we're opening it into. I'll probably cut up like some ephemera or maybe find like a little photo that's a 2 by 2 that I can stick on there. My game plan is that on the back side of this, I'll have a full page photo. Um, yeah, just because, having a selfie is great. So I'll have some sort of photo on the back that's a full page photo and then go into the pocket pages. So in a few minutes, I kind of ditch the 1 through 10. Um, oh, and then this is where I want that one red card that says one day at a time. It is really weird to me that I love that card so much and it's in the September kit and there's not a whole lot of like, you know, there's just great pops of color in the September kit for red, and it like the rest of the colors don't really go not they don't go with it, but it's just like kind of cool that they're more subtle, and then there's just these like pops of red. So I stole this one just because I love it, but that September kit was just kind of a cool color scheme. I wound up pulling the April because I'm just like, oh, I wonder if there's anything in the April kit that I can like use, but I'll be honest, I wound up not liking it because it would be the only thing that had gold. So I didn't grab any of the transparencies. I try to use like the April red, or there's a yellow April tag, but the yellows didn't go really well. So I, in a second, wind up sticking it all back in the pocket. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm opening all of those and they're 2025 ones because that's my life. 2025 was rough. I had lost my father in September 2024, and I didn't realize it was really great. We decided to do a celebration of life instead of a funeral or anything, and we were going to do it 1 year after. It was one of the best decisions that we made. It was one of the most beautiful things that I've ever been involved in. Um, the drawback is that it was a year later, which meant most of 2025 I was kind of like in this limbo of grieving my dad and um I didn't realize that it's kind of like just holding your breath. It's such a weird feeling and phenomenon. So it's great because now I've got that closure, but for a year after he passed, I just felt like I really didn't have that closure for some reason. So then I went to some of the basics kits that we have now. So these are the ones that are coming out quarterly. They replace the one little word. And this is where I'm still trying to force that prompt page because I was like, oh, these little labels, maybe they match. They don't quite match, but they match enough. But it was just again, when you start feeling like you're trying hard to get something to work, that's when I start thinking like that's probably not a good decision. The oval squares, I just loved those colors match those flowers so well. And so I thought that'd be a great place to journal about the best thing of the day and the worst thing of the day. And then I can put the little wonky circles in there. So that was the plan there. That's when I gave up on that prompt page. So I went ahead and cut that other flower down. When I did that, I realized that there were two of the 3 by 4s that had like nice flowers set up like yeah, so you can tell they're just like really huge. And now I can use the centers of the flowers to say the best thing and the worst thing. And so yeah, here's where I ended up, and this is what I'm gonna do. My game plan is to this is where I wrote a post-it note to remind myself so I can take it to work tomorrow. And so I want to make sure that I take a photo Every 2 hours, I set up, all of the timers on my phone, so every 2 hours, I take a picture of whatever it is I'm looking at or seeing, and then I also wanna make sure that I grab any kind of ephemera so I can cut those into the squares over on the today side, and then I wanna grab probably a front page, screenshot from that app, Front Page News, and put that in there and make sure that I'm journaling. And other than that, I'm all set and I will be back when I have photos.